So I just set my RODI unit on top of my washing machine while I was mounting it, and it fell off the washing machine. This broke right here. This broke, which I don't know what was connected to it. Maybe it was a line before. I don't know what else broke. I'm still inspecting it. I got the fittings out and they look like just standard ones I can go buy at Lowe's, but here's the bad news. This gauge, fluid gauge, I took this out of the thing, but because the gauge, this hit on the top. These all look okay. So I think it just hit here, and I gotta find out where I can get that gauge. I'm gonna run up to Home Depot right now and buy these two fittings.
We got Jimmy hooked up with a new gauge, and he was back making water.
Yes! Back in business.
I also hooked Jimmy up with two must-haves for any mixing station. First, a shut-off valve. No electronics here, just a simple float valve that shuts off the water flow coming from the RODI unit when your RODI vat is full. Easy install, just drill a hole where you want the water level to be, mount the shut-off float with the supplied nut and gasket, then connect the line from the output of your RODI unit, paying attention to the compression fitting. Second must-have, RO Guardian, also known as the Marriage Saver. This uses an electronic eye to sense water level on the container and closes a solenoid to shut off water flow. The eye uses a magnet, so no drilling is necessary. The solenoid uses push-to-connect fittings, which means you just push the tube into the fitting all the way, plug in the brain, and you're good to go. Now, no more RODI water can be made if the vat is full, and we have backups. Remember, RODI units are dumb. All they know how to do is make water, and make water endlessly as long as they have water coming into them. So we have to make them smart by adding redundancy to them, avoiding floods and spousal conflicts as well. And now for the time lapse of Jimmy's tank filling. Oh wait, he didn't do that. The camera guy, whose job is to film everything and to get the crucial shot, the time lapse of the tank filling, which is the shot that everyone loves, no, not captured.
Oh, wait a minute, Mark. I haven't seen you do a time lapse or a fill your tank video on your big tank. Or have you done a build series on your big tank?
Well, Jimmy, as a camera guy and an editor, I'm sure you can appreciate that the artistic process is sometimes long, not linear, filled with ups and downs. You get inspired, you don't get inspired. You put something together, you don't like it, you start over. I mean, you just can't rush art. So we don't have a time lapse of the tank filling, but Jimmy did check his plumbing with the fill the sump and pump water into the tank leak test trick. Fill the sump with some water from the Brute, which is super easy with the Seashade Zero. Just hook up any garden hose, plug in the pump, and start filling. The plumbing checked out, and he's got water flowing through the system, which means kaboom, he's up and rolling. Now to add the salt. Here's Jimmy's snazzy idea on keeping track of the salt he needs to add to the tank.
So I've got 200 gallons of salt water, if you include the aquarium and the sump. So I've got 10 boxes here. Each box gets 5 scoops to make 20 gallons of salt water. So I need to do 50 scoops to get 200 gallons. So here we go.
I love that he adds his salt right in front of the Seashade power head to help the salt mix. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, salinity is right, temperature is right. Now to add the Dr. Tim's and his quarantine ORA fish.
The day has arrived. These guys are moving into my display tank. They've been in quarantine for about a month. They're doing great. Little Nemo had a little trouble. It looked like maybe he was getting picked on or something. I saw him hiding up behind the heater. And then when I got him out of there, he looked like he was maybe been chewed on or something. So I had to put a little isolating area for him in there, and I had him in there for maybe a week, and then maybe more, and then I put him back in here a few days ago, and he's been doing great ever since. They don't seem to be picking on him anymore, but it's time to go. So I'm going to take the PVC pipe out of there, and then I'm gonna start draining the ocean. Mark said drain the ocean, it's easier to catch the fish. So I'm gonna bring the water down and then have them swim into a bucket, bring them downstairs, drip acclimate them just like we did for quarantine, but using the water from the display tank, which are pretty close to the same parameters. The temperature's almost the same, the salinity's almost the same, and we're gonna drip acclimate them to the display tank and then swim them into the big tank. I'm super excited. So here we go. You guys are ready to move, aren't you? Look at, you're all excited. You're looking to see what I'm doing. So I remember an earlier time Mark was saying, you know, a net, use it more like a guiding tool, that, you know, that you don't scratch their slime coat. Net them if you have to, but I'm gonna try to just get them to swim into this bucket. We might have to do a little bucket transfer action, but I think we'll be okay. And now we're going to take them downstairs and drip acclimate. Okay, got my fish in the bucket. They're ready for their new home. So now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to drip acclimate them. I'm using my little valve here. Get this to a kind of a constant drip. We're gonna do about 30-minute drip, and then we'll swim them into the big tank. It's here, we're doing it. I'm gonna have fish in my office. Step one, I guess. Very exciting. So, guys will be swimming in the big tank in about 30 minutes. Here we go. Fishy in the display tank time. I'm so happy right now. Here we go, guys. So there they are down in there. I'm pretty excited. So the three little clownfish I have, they're all together. I saw the orchid dotty back swimming around in the back there. But that little goby Chuck, I don't know what happened to Chuck. I saw him dart down and I haven't been able to find him again since I put him in here. So I guess that's what gobies do. But yeah, I'm super excited, but it looks really silly because here's three little fish right here and I got this big tank. So now it's time to start thinking what's next, right? What's next? Maybe some corals.